Hey Libra, I'm Leona Nicole Black and this is your general reading for May. Welcome back. I wanted to let you know very quickly that I have an event this week Friday at the Curtin Hotel. It's an astrology mixer. It's a super dope games night and you'll get a chance to meet new people, to mingle, bring a friend, bring a partner, meet a partner maybe. I hope you'll come. Tickets are £10 for standard tickets, and if you bring someone who identifies as a man, you get entry for two for £15. You can get tickets at nicoleblack.com/shop. Hopefully I'll see you. So into your reading. I don't think it's a coincidence at all that I heard, a friend told me about the breakup between Joe, who's a Virgo, and Sin Santana, who's a Libra, right before I was going to do your reading. And Sin's a Libra, right? Remember that. And I'm a Virgo, so I think I understand Virgo energy. I understand how Virgo men flex when things aren't right and they're hurt, and that's doubled when they're celebrity or they have a sense of fame, public support in the public eye in some kind of way. So that's kind of the backdrop to your reading here. We have the Hierophant card as the first card out of the deck for you. The message, I want some crystals. The message, Libra, is that you are rethinking things this month. You've had some real lessons, but these aren't mini realizations. This month for you is about actually understanding what you've been committed to, what has been long-standing in your life, what has been a significant structure that you've been organizing things around, and whether or not that's been healthy for you, whether or not that has been a structure that has pertained to your spiritual growth, or whether it's actually been about your bondage, to be honest, about your devotion in the wrong places, about your devotion. So this Hierophant here can either be a wise, honorable sage who leads you towards your own divine connection with God, or they can be an egomaniac who leads you towards the worship of themselves. And the question for you this month is, where have you unwittingly been devoted to the wrong kinds of people, or the wrong kinds of causes, or devoted really to someone else's ego is the message here with the Hierophant card. You've got a lot of reversals here. 5 cards are the only card that's upright in the middle of it all is the Temperance card. So you have the Judgment card to begin with in reverse here. This is, like I'm saying, reviewing. This is doubling back. This is going back to check. I think last month I said to you, we're trying to make a choice about who to move forward with, or what relationships to move forward, or what situation. This is now like you're either second guessing yourself in a good way because you're supposed to, or you're realizing that the judgments that you were making before, the assessments that you were making, big life changes, pivotal things, you didn't have all the facts. Maybe you weren't seeing things clearly. Maybe you find out things about people this month that make you think, do you know what, like, was I crazy this whole time? It's that kind of energy. So in this card, it's like there's a loud trumpet that sounded by this angelic figure, but you didn't hear it. That's the message of the Judgment card in reverse, that something that was maybe obvious to everybody else, you missed it, and now it's loud as hell to you, and you're like, did I really not see this in that particular way? You do have the 5 of Cups though, and it's in reverse, and it's saying that you feel that actually you don't really have time to grieve. Like, you don't have time to get sad about it. You don't have time to wallow. You're like, it affects you emotionally, right? It has emotional relevance. This matters on an emotional level, but for you, you're like, do you know what? I can't even linger here. I can't afford to break down. I can't afford to wait around and cry. And you are right about that, because you have the Temperance card, and it's really saying to you, keep your equilibrium this month. You may want to pour all the water out of your cups. You may want to just pour your emotions out. You may just want to catastrophize and feel like, can I trust myself at all? Can I trust my judgment at all? Do I really know anybody? You may want to do all of that. Don't do it. the message here is that the angelic figure that was blowing the trumpet loud to try and get your attention towards something is now the same figure that's inside you. That angelic figure is you. It's your own intuition. Sorry, I feel like I really need to sneeze, but it's not coming. The message is that if you can keep your balance, which is allowing yourself to feel what you need to, but not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by those emotions, then you will integrate that trumpet. You know, you will balance out the part of you that is open and kind and wants to engage with people, with the discerning part of you, Queen of Swords energy, the part of you that understands the human nature and the nature of interpersonal dynamics and relationships. You need more integration, but if you wade into emotions this month, you'll miss the opportunity for that. This is all happening for karmic reasons, right? The Hanged Man card here, you've had to go through this experience to see beyond the veil. And you know, unfortunately, some of us learn via pain. The point here has been to get you to see what is not, to see with your third eye, not just to look at what's in front of you, not just to take everything at face value, but to see what's behind the situation. What's the energy behind it? What's the real intentions and motivations that people have? You've needed to see that you can't always trust what's put in front of you. And that's why you're now like, whoa, I'm seeing things really differently, and really realizing with the Fool card in reverse that maybe a path is no longer open to you, a new beginning you thought you were having. I mentioned Joe and Sin in the beginning of the reading. I say it anyway because the friend that messaged me was like, you called it, because I said to her months ago that they would split. And not that I was prophesying that over their lives, but I felt like behind the veil, like you can see that something's wrong in the energy there. So it would be like getting engaged and then breaking up. It's like realizing that a path that you thought you could take, a new beginning you thought you could have, you can't have. And since I'm speaking on them as a couple, I do want to say that I think they'll get back together several more times before they officially split. So Libra, it may feel like a false start, right? Because it might not be a relationship. It might be something of an opportunity that you were like, great, and then, you know, the way things play out, it's no longer available to you. It's not that you're not going to be able to have any starts. Oh, there's my crystal that I don't want it in my front. It's not that you're not going to be able to have any new beginnings or any new opportunities. Even if it pertains to a relationship, it might not even mean that this relationship is dead and can't go any further. It's that you need to see that the way, the dynamic, the way you were moving with this thing, the direction you thought it was going to go in or could go in, it's not the best for you. There's a reason for it. With the Nine of Wands here, you need to acknowledge where you felt wounded in the past, where you felt unsupported in the past, where you've ended up hurt in your entanglements and let down. You need to acknowledge that, because sometimes if you don't, you almost, in a bid to outrun that energy, run straight back into it. Or if you ignore that energy altogether, it literally just lives in you and calls out the same thing. So you need to acknowledge where you feel guarded, actually, because that is actually getting you trapped. It's a weird thing. Like, you might think your guardedness is protecting you, but it actually isn't. And the reason is because in this instance you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. You can't create in the ways that you need to. You can't manifest in the ways that you need to, because you've invested all this energy in putting a wall up. Now, this wall may be against a particular person or a particular situation. It may even be the thing that is potentially unraveling right now. And if you use all your energy to hold it at a distance, then you take this wand to prop yourself up. It's not available to you to create in your life. It's not available as an energy you can use. So this is the wrong approach. This is the wrong reaction. It's also part of the message of like temperance, equilibrium this month. Don't swing into the wound. Queen of Pentacles, the adjustment, Virgo. The adjustment, really it's any earth sign, but it resonates as Virgo to me. The adjustment here is using this as a moment to internalize self-value. I'm going to continue. It's not my nature to talk about celebrities in readings, but I do thought I saw them. Like I said, it happened for a reason. The issue here is around valuing yourself, and in the case of sin, for example, not waiting, hope and expecting the other person to do that, you know, not waiting for them to see that you deserve more time or you deserve whatever it is that you're saying that you deserve. It's actually about going within and asking yourself, what part of you has consented to a dynamic that doesn't give you what you need, that doesn't nourish you, that isn't about building up your coin, that isn't about, and that's both your money, your ideas, your energy, that in what ways have you been left to your own devices, Libra, where it's like, oh, I see you have value, but ooh. Okay, I just noticed that I'm gonna have to do this Libra message in 2 parts because I didn't notice that we were over 10 minutes. Okay, great. In what ways do you get left to cultivate by yourself, you know? In what ways do you feel like you're working on something and the people around you, your partner or your colleagues, are not helping you, and not, they're just like, oh yeah, that's good, do your thing. You need to have a look at that this month, because you can make significant alterations going forward if you can develop your own healthy sense of ego here. And it isn't therefore about having an ego and going it alone and doing it all by yourself. It's actually having the sense of self-assertion and confidence enough to re-enter these relationships, so that when you are with the Hierophant, so to speak, it's a dual relationship, it's a conversation. I don't know if you've ever like seen, whether it's like the Western philosophers like Socrates or etc., or if you think about kind of Bible stories, the way that it would work in, let's call it ancient times at this point, is that you would have a rabbi or a wise teacher of some kind who would maybe tell a story or talk, and people would sit and ask questions, and you need to be the questioner. You need to question, you need to engage, Libra. You need to be part of the learning process, not a person who, like, from when, for example, they were teaching or doing church services in Latin when the audience couldn't understand that. You don't want to be in dynamics with people where you have no power, no control, you don't even understand the language they're speaking. Okay, you want to make sure that you're not serving somebody else's ego, is what I'm trying to say here with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, because it's too much of a burden for you to carry with the Ten of Wands in reverse. You've got a lot of fire cards here, and it's saying therefore that your power has been siphoned in the wrong directions, and so you really need to pull that back. It's yours, it belongs to you. And listen, if you're going to carry 10 wands, and I don't suggest you do, but if you're going to carry 10 wands, at least let them be your own. At least let it be your own business or your own relationship. Some of you are divvying up your energy to others. Now this could be and feel like, Libra, being thrown off balance by certain interactions you have with people. Okay, so it's like maybe a conversation you have, or an experience you have, or a place that you go, but when you come back from it, this crystal really wants to be here, fine. When you come back from it, you aren't able to give to yourself or do the things that you were planning to do for yourself. This is a problem. And so the energy this month is, sometimes when people tell me that I'm quite like catastrophic in Libra readings, so I say everything's terrible. It's not terrible, actually. It may feel dramatic, it may feel like a lot's happening, it may feel like a lot's changing, or a lot's or doors closed. I want you to know that it's really not as big as it might seem. Again, look behind the veil. All of that's just external drama. A door will open just as easily. A relationship problem will resolve just as quickly. All of those things can happen, but only if you understand with the, where's the card? I'm looking for the Hanged Man card here. Only if you gain the insight that you're supposed to, right? Only if you gain that. So make sure you look at things from a different perspective and see your patterns this month. Okay, Libra? If you would like a personal reading, NicoleBlack.com/shop. People DM me all the time. I don't understand why. So I have a link in bio, or I say it in my readings, NicoleBlack.com/shop. If you would like to come to my event on Friday, same link, NicoleBlack.com/shop, or link in bio. I really hope to see you. If I don't see you at either of those, then I will see you for your reading next month. Mwah. Be kind to yourself.